audio. Microphone setup, gain, compressor, limiter, EQ, sound effects, expander. There's a lot to think about when it comes to audio. And I see a lot of different streamers having different audio levels or varying mic quality. And it's not easy knowing what to do if you don't have a clue of what good sound sounds like or what levels you should be at. So here's my attempt at making a guide for you who wants to get started or just wants to know more about audio in general, so that you can improve your understanding about audio and also your audio quality. There's also a couple of links down in the description below that you can read up on if you want to have more information or wants to know more about audio in general. It can give more information than I can. There's also a lot of information around the internet overall, so Google is your friend. If you just want to get to the setup, there's going to be a timestamp here. And that's where you're going to go if you want to, get to the setup, to the nitty-gritty stuff. Okay, let's start off with the basics. How does audio levels in OBS work? So here's OBS. And here's the audio mixer. It has a bunch of numbers on the right side, and it also comes in 3 different colors: red, yellow, and green. The numbers on the right of the volume meter tells us the decibel level, or basically how loud something is. And OBS uses something called dBFS, or decibel full scale. So let's take a closer look. The average for speech is about -12 decibels, which is about here. And for streaming, if you are about -6 and -15 decibels, you're pretty much good to go. Well, you're fine as long as you're below 0 decibels or not clipping, otherwise it'll sound like.
But Crasher, if it's in the green, then the audio's okay, right?
There's more to it than that. Enough talk, let's get to it. Let's start with the setup. Go to File, Settings, Audio, and choose what microphone OBS should use by clicking the drop-down menu and picking your microphone. Don't worry about why my stuff is disabled, we'll go through that later. If you're using a headset, it might be difficult to achieve good sound quality due to limitations of different headsets. Also, distance between microphone and mouth is important. I'd suggest 2 to 3 centimeters between microphone and mouth, or about 2 to 3 fingers. Right-click the speaker icon, go to Sound Settings, go to Device Properties underneath Input, and slide the volume to around 90 to 100%. If you need to, you can always go back and change these settings at a later time. External microphones. First of all, how loud you are going to be also depends on how close to the microphone you are. Staying close to the microphone is recommended because it will eliminate a lot of the background noise that you are going to have whilst you are streaming. It also allows for pretty cool ASMR stuff like this. I'm so sorry. I would recommend staying about 5 to 10 centimeters from your microphone to your mouth, or if need be, about a fist or 2. After that, there should be a gain knob on your microphone or on your audio interface that you are currently using. Actually, let me do something real quick. Okay, let's do this. I'll follow along, you guys. So the first thing we want to do is to gain up on the microphone, on this little gain knob that you might have either on your microphone or on your audio interface. So what we want to do is that we want to gain up on the microphone until we reach a comfortable -24 to -18 in decibels. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So during this portion, you also need to test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And let's try speaking a little bit now and then, just to see where we are actually at. And we need to consistently be speaking because it's otherwise going to be rather difficult to see where we are. And the meter is going to peak every now and then, so don't worry about it. Let's simplify that. If you can stay in the green and occasionally hit yellow, then you're pretty much good to go. If you are in the yellow and heading towards red, I would suggest gaining down until you hit that -24 and -18 decibel level, or hitting green, going occasionally into yellow.
But Crasher, didn't you say average speech was around -12 dB? How are people going to hear us?
We'll get to that. What we're doing is we're leaving some headroom for the microphone so that you can get louder without your microphone actually clipping or peaking, which will distort the sound. Now you're done with the most basic setup. Now we're going to hop over to the fun stuff, which is microphone filters. Right-click on the audio source in your mixer and click Filters. A window is going to pop up. Wow. You can either press the plus button in the bottom left or right-click in the window to get a selection of audio filters. Here, what's interesting is gain. Now you want to increase the gain so that your audio levels hit somewhere between -6 decibels and -15 decibels. Or let's put it a little bit more simple. If you can stay in the mid-high yellows, occasionally touching red, then you're pretty much good to go. Alright, this is going to be some testing to see how much gain I actually need to apply before I'm comfortably hitting somewhere between -6 decibels and -15. So about this level I would say is pretty much fine when speaking normally. There's still one thing left to do. If you get super loud now, you're most likely going to distort or peak. For example, I am currently peaking.
But Crasher, did you say we weren't gonna distort? Why are you lying?
I'm not lying. Calm down. We're going to fix this. What we've done so far is made it so that your microphone can handle all the loud noise that you are able to put out, whether it be screaming, yelling, or, getting really close to the microphone and just, feeding air into it. But we haven't made it so for OBS itself. But don't worry, there's a fix for that. Going back to the filter window, we want to right-click the window, add, and press limiter. Now you should see 2 bars with the name threshold and release. What we want to do is to set the threshold to -3 decibels. What we've done here is basically stopping anything from over -3 decibels from being outputted, meaning that it will never peak after getting loud. And with that, you've completed the basic audio setup for streaming, but you should still test your audio to see if you're distorting, even if the levels themselves seems good. Right-click on your microphone source in the audio mixer and go to Advanced Audio Properties. You'll see your microphone there and a bunch of boxes and texts. Go to the column where it says Audio Monitoring, and on the drop-down menu of your microphone, click Monitor and Output. As soon as you do that, you will be able to hear yourself, just a tiny bit delayed. If not, go to File, Settings, Audio, look for Monitoring Device, and from the drop-down menu, pick your headphones or whatever source you would like to listen from. Also, don't forget to turn off the monitor in the Advanced Audio Properties when you're done testing. Otherwise, you will be hearing yourself delayed for all time. Okay, so for transparency's sake, currently I have been experiencing a bit of clipping myself when using this Blue Yeti microphone, but as I mentioned before, the Blue Yetis are very much sensitive and you have to try and fiddle around with it to the best of your abilities. But whenever I'm speaking normally, it sounds fine. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to adjust for whenever I get loud. So after a little bit of fiddling, let's go ahead and add the limiter. So we are going to add a limiter. We're going to go and get the threshold to -3. And there we go. So now it should be able to handle me getting a little bit louder. As you can see on the right, I am hitting towards that -3 decibel ceiling, but hopefully I should never ever be peaking. My sound should be okay. But we'll see when we actually get to listen to that. So hopefully you guys get good audio quality. As a final note, if you can't, for whatever reason, hear yourself in the broadcasts, or if your viewers can't hear you in the broadcasts, there is one more fix that we can do just in case this sort of bug happens. And this is also the reason why I have all my stuff disabled in the audio settings, and as you may have noticed, I have my microphone in the sources. Make sure to first copy your filters from the microphone by right-clicking the audio source that you have and then click Copy Filters. You can then go to your audio section in OBS and disable the microphone, and go to your sources and add Audio Input Capture. Select your microphone, then right-click the source and paste filters. So a quick summary. First, you want to hit between -24 decibels and -18 decibels in OBS via the gain knob on your microphone or audio interface, or the input level in Windows if you're using a headset microphone or a USB microphone. Making that a little bit more simple, it's basically staying in the green, occasionally hitting yellow. Then what you want to do is to add a gain filter in OBS, and you want to gain up until you hit between -15 decibels and -6 decibels, or staying mid-yellow, occasionally hitting red. After that, what you want to do as a final step is to add a limiter in OBS with a threshold of -3 decibels. That should cover everything basic about setting up your audio and microphone for OBS. There are a couple of more things that we can do with your audio in order for it to be improved upon, but I'm gonna save that for a later time. Until then, make sure you take care and have a great day.